Hello, all you shiny toaded owls, TNT the Wolf here. Welcome to another episode of Explaining D&D, the series where I explain D&D. Pretty self-explanatory. Today's episode is on Constitution, one of the 6 main stats, and temporary health points, because that's a small topic that doesn't deserve its own video. So, before we get started, please like and subscribe. It helps the channel out a ton. And let's get into it. We're going to start off with temporary health points, because those need explaining, apparently. Yeah, and they're small, so we're just going to get that out of the way before we talk about Constitution, which is technically also small. Stats don't take very long. So, temporary health points are health points that are temporary. I can't remember the spell it was okay, so I was DMing. And I had a party of a sorcerer who had no clue what they're doing. Other people who had no clue what they're doing. And then I had my paladin dwarf, who had half a clue of what they're doing. So anyway, they kept casting their one favorite spell, that would cause whoever the target was to gain the paladin spellcasting modifier on as temporary health. It took a while before I had to explain to him that you cannot stack temporary health, which is one of the main things. You cannot stack it. You can't stack it from the same source. You can't stack it from multiple sources. That temporary health, for this example, we're using 3. That's all you get, unless you have a different source that's giving you 5. All the temporary health you get, no more. Nothing else. Next up. It lasts. How long it lasts is specific to the spell, of course. But it typically with the spell that my paladin was using, it just lasted till the end of combat. Which, I know none of them last past the end of combat, at least I'm pretty sure. So, keep that in mind whenever you're using temporary health points. So don't waste them on battles such as 2 goblins. None of my players have done that. Mostly because we haven't fought goblins, instead I sent them after beholders. That didn't turn out too well. I am bad at DMing. So, next up we have our Constitution stat. One of the 6 main stats. It is one of your physical stats, and it is a third one on the list. So you have Strength, Dex, and then Constitution. So it's technically your final physical stat before you go into the mental stats, which are Wisdom, Charisma, and Intelligence. I did that in the wrong order. I don't know what the correct one is. I kind of lost track. One second. I have a character sheet. Like right here, I think. Okay, I do not. Wait, yeah, I do have a character sheet. There we go. It is located. This is Constitution right here. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's Constitution. Where Constitution is. It works just like Strength or Dex when determining it. However, its output is different, mostly because it's one of the most important stats while leveling up, because it determines your health. Okay, so every time you level up, you roll a die. This die is based off your class. For this example, we're going to use the Fighter's Hit die, a D10. One second, my dice are right here. So, let me show you all what a D10 looks like if you don't know. This is a D10, it has 10 sides, and it kind of looks weird. So if you're a fighter, each time you would level up, you would roll this die, and that would determine your health. But you also get to add your Constitution stat, meaning if it's negative, that means you get less. Meaning, let's say you have a -1 in Constitution. That means with the 8 I rolled, and you would only gain 7 max health for that level. However, if you have something like a +2, you would gain 10 instead of 8, meaning it's quite a good stat to buff out. In fact, in my opinion, one of the most important stats to max out. Like, it should just be your second highest stat, no matter which character you're playing. And it should probably be your highest stat if you're playing a wizard or sorcerer who have the hit dice equivalent to a piece of paper or tape. Breaks easily. Next up, Constitution saving throws are typically used for food poisoning or diseases, such as, hey, you ate that week-old potato. I don't know how long potatoes actually last. Well, you're going to have to roll a Constitution saving throw to see if you die or not. Well, by die, I mean you get food poisoning and take a bit of damage. Yeah, that about covers it for Constitution. It's one of the most important stats, but it doesn't do many things. However, without it, you'd be much, much weaker and be able to take way fewer hits. But yeah, if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Like I said in the beginning, leave a comment on which subject you would like me to talk about next. And I hope to see you all next time. Later, mates!